Hi everyone, and I hope you're all well. In this episode, we'll be looking at artwork, timetables, and exciting new projects. So, grab yourself a cuppa, settle down, and have a look. Hi everyone, and I hope you're all well, and welcome to another edition from Midway Peninsula. First of all, as always, I'd like to thank the subscribers, the viewers. People take the time to have a look at what's been happening. And saying that, excuse me, earlier on this week I was just coming up, walking back from the village and got a few bits and bobs, and I was stopped in the street by a chap, and he said, "Are you Kevin?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "You won't know me," and I thought he was a chap from the bowls club or somebody we'd played against. And he said, "No, I watch your videos, and I really like him, and I really like you there." And I was quite taken aback. So I said to him, obviously, thank you very much and appreciate it. And probably because I was still in a state of shock, what I didn't do is get his name. So if you are watching, drop me a comment so I know who you are. It'd be great, and hopefully at some stage, once restrictions are eased and my garage is health and safety compliant, you're more than welcome to come round and have a look at it in his flesh. So whoever that was, thank you very much. This video isn't going to be too long, I don't think, because there hasn't been a great amount happening on the layout. Really, Kent has been, like I think the rest of the country, rather cold. So you'll hear the dog in the background. Apologies. Yeah, it's been rather cold. So the amount of time I've actually spent in the garage has been quite limited. But I have been quite busy, and coming across this book here has been an absolute godsend because it's got a working timetable of the Midway area, or the southern region, and in this sort of area, for the mid to late 50s. It's got all the engine sheds and what the stock was, etc. But most importantly, the one thing I want to know is what sort of things ran. So I've got, with a working timetable, so I know exactly what it is. And it's brilliant because you've got not only the fast trains down to the Kent coast, which was serving the ferries, but you've got the passenger stop, lots of freight. We've got the Maidstone line. We've got the 100 of Who line, which goes up to Grain and off to All Hallows, which has got a mixture of freight and passenger. So there's plenty there. So that's what I've been doing, is sort of setting myself up a timetable to run on Midway, just to give it a little bit of structure. I don't know if you remember that originally I wanted to run Midway from sort of nationalisation for 1948 right up to present day. One thing I have realised, it would probably take a hell of a lot of rolling stock. So what I've decided, that has opened my eyes. So we'll have a period in time of sort of anything between 1955 1959 summer, and run it in that period. We might then be able to have some early BR Green diesels in, but it will give plenty of interest, I think. And then the next period in time will be sectorisation, sort of early 80s through to the mid 90s. So that will give us, for me, Network South East, and also the rail freight sections on there, which I think will be nice and interesting. And then we'll sort of run ourselves from there through to the present day. So that's the plans on there. Secondly, I've got a bit of artwork that I've got in to fill the gaps on the garage walls. So I'll do a little video of that so as you can see it, and I'll put some stills up. But yeah, I'm quite pleased how that's looking. And I'll leave the best, or hopefully the best, to last. Is that there's a new project to start. What I'm going to do in filling a piece of the baseboard that was empty up by the industrial side of it. So yeah, that'll come a little bit later, and then we'll have a few running shots. There's been a couple of new additions, but I think what I wanted to do would be to, I think meet the fleet's a bit grandiose, but really I wanted to show you what locos I've got, what role they'll play in Midway. So what I'm going through at the moment, they're all boxed up. They just come out once a bit for running. But what I want to do will be to get them out of the box, fit some detailing in, fit crew in, maybe even have a little bit of weather in. And if possible, I'm going to try it out on a low 40 loco. Looking to change numbers so there'd be actually locos that ran out of the sheds in the Midway area, and also to change the liveries to BR late crest. I'll have a practice on a little GP loco, and of course I'll see how that goes, and I'll document how that goes. And then what I'll do is I'll do a little section of videos on each little section of locos, if that makes sense, and I'll introduce you to them. So yeah, there we are. Plenty to do. As a little taster, I have started out on the scratch building side of things, so you'll see that a bit later. So there we are. Hope you enjoy it, and thanks as always for watching. Okay, so this is the artwork as such that we've got on the top wall of the garage. First one is the All Change Crew Open Day poster, and that was from Hatton's. And we move over, and we've got the Royal Scot at Crew Station. That was taken by Rachel at Mini Wistaston. We move down, and in the bottom left hand corner we've got a Black 5 going over the Glenfinnan Viaduct. In the middle there, and you can't really see it too well, so I'll see if I can get a still of it. That is a night shot over the Isle of Wight Railway. We move down. That's a Renford Thatcher of Chatham Station, and at the bottom, top right hand corner, is another one of Tim Wells's excellent photos, and that is of a Battle of Britain class loco at Swanage, I think that is. And lastly is another Renford Thatcher outside or at Victoria Station. And then if I move on, this is the start of the next wall, the big wall, and this is a couple of prints of reproductions off of old Southern Region posters. First one advertising Folkestone, and the second one advertising Ramsgate. And so there's, as you can see, some spaces to fill, and I've got a few things in mind for that. Okay. One thing I thought was quite interesting was a recent video that Charlie from Chadwick did, and it was regarding CVs, acceleration, deceleration, and top speed. What he said was quite true. You do get some unrealistic operations of your locos where they'll be scooting around your layout at breakneck speed of sound, and also ones where you put the speed up and it will just shoot off and also come to a grinding halt. And that's, yeah, I agreed with him. It's totally unrealistic. So he said you can change that just by altering CV3 for acceleration, CV4 for deceleration. So by increasing the default number, and I think they go up to 255, by increasing it, you can slow down the acceleration and also slow down the deceleration. So say coming out of a station, you wouldn't expect your loco to shoot off at half speed from the get-go. So I had a little play around, and I've now got my P-class moving off, and it's gradually going off and reaching its top speed, and same with deceleration, so you get a nice glide into the station and stop, and I was quite pleased with it. And so, yeah, it's quite easy to do, and I will do that for all my locos. Some of the DCC concept then decoders already have that redone, so sometimes you might need to do it, sometimes you don't, but it's quite interesting. At the same time, you put a couple of links in things that you can do for checking your top speed, and a couple of I think model clubs had done almost like an Excel program where you time your loco from start a set distance, and it will work out the top speed. So as I say, I'll put the link to that video which Charlie did for you, and I found it really useful, certainly on the top speed, and I've also then worked out what the top speed is and what sort of a 25 mile an hour and say a 40 mile an hour equates to the speed steps on my NCE power cab. So I think, yeah, if I want it running at 40 mile an hour, I just need to have it at sort of say 57. So yeah, that was useful. Also, Mike's, I think it's Mike's Amazing Models, but again, I'll put a link. He's worked out quite a good equation. So you measure yourself out a 4-foot distance. So you have a starting point and a finishing point. Get your stopwatch out on your phone or on your watch or wherever. And then you time how long your loco needs, or how long it takes your loco to get that 4-foot space. So the equation is 207 spot 2727 divided by the amount of seconds to cover that distance, and that will give you the speed. And again, that's quite useful as well. And yeah, I've been playing around with that also, so I thought that might be of interest to you. And as I say, check those links out. Okay, so finding the top speed, as you can see, the Class 66 Freightliner, lest we forget, is at full pelt and is warmed up. 4 foot is just from where she's going now at the end of platform security gate to this security gate here. So I'm just going to let her warm up just once more, and then I will start the stopwatch. So here she comes now, and we're starting and we are finishing. And that was 2.63 seconds. So let's slow her down now. There she goes, and we'll bring her to a stop. And as you can see, with the flywheel she does slow down. So that was 2.63 seconds. So the formula is, if I just get the calculator on my phone, so let's clear that. So 207.2727 divided by 2.63 gives us a top speed. As you can see there, it was at 216 miles an hour, which, as you can see, is totally over the top, but it does help. So what we want is probably around about a third, less than that, maybe a quarter of our speed step. So let's try on, say, speed step 1, 2, 6, 60, around about speed step 40 or 50. Okay, so we're going on speed step 80 this time. We'll see that on the NCE. That's 80 out of 126. So remember, maximum speed was 216 miles an hour. So let's see her now, and we're just coming up to the starting point. Here she goes, and just up to the finish is there. So that is 5.22. So if we go back to the phone, I'll just swap hands. Let's get the calculator. So 207.2727, and then let's see what that time was. Okay, 5.22 divided by 5.22 gives us a more realistic 40 miles an hour. So if we have a look at her now, coming round, I think that's more of an acceptable speed. So I know, and I'll make a note of that, that I want to see her running using speed step 80. And then if we just have a look at bring her to a halt, let's bring that down. And that's not bad. So I haven't changed the CVs on that. So yeah, that for me is okay. I won't fiddle around with that. But it just shows you what the different locos and how they perform. Okay, there we are. So as I mentioned, I've been playing around with CVs 3 and 4, acceleration, deceleration on the P-Class. So if I just show you an idea of what I've done, I'm going to put the NC power cab up to, let's say, 70, which is around about 3/4. So let's just see her gradually moving upwards. That's on 69, which is about half full speed, and she'll go along and she will gradually get up to that speed. Then as we go along, now excuse me for a second, we'll just follow her around, and then let's see if we can bring her to a stop. I'm bringing that down to 0. That's at 0 at the minute, and as you can see, she just comes to a more realistic stop. So I hope you see what I've done there. I'll probably maybe have a little change just to even make that deceleration a little longer. But it's better than the shooting off full stop brakes on that it was. You don't get that so much with the bigger locos that have got flywheels, because you do get that gradual stop and a little bit X on the starting. But yeah, it does work, and it's playing around with them. So yeah, hope you found that useful. So that's CV3 for the acceleration, CV4 for the deceleration, and you just increase the number that you're at. So you can do it up to 255. I'd done it, I think, on about 30, and then you just play around with it and to get it to how it suits. So there we are. Let's just see her off again. As I say, that is in fact now at full speed, 126, if you can see that there. Excuse me, typically it doesn't focus, but let's have a look at her. Excuse the usual mess. Okay, so let me reveal Midway Community Park. So this is what my plans are for this side of the layout. Here we have Bowls Club, which is going to be loosely based on my own Bowls Club, Peninsula, and still a lot of work to be done, but we've got the bases down, and the walls are just foam board covered with downloadable texture sheets of brick from the Railway Modelers Club, and so is the paving sheets. And if I go down, as you can see, we've got the railings, which are scale model scenery railings. Edges still to have a little bit of work done, but nothing more than your common or garden kitchen scourers, with some green poster paint that you can see in the background, and some scatters. So lots to be done, but this is stage one. So this will be the Bowls Club, and if I can raise you up, and there we have what will be the cafe stroke restaurant, and where you're looking just to the side will be a children's play area. Might be a children's play area, if not it'll be where the tables are for eating out. There will probably be a car park. If I lift you up, this will be the entrance in. And also we have a scale model sceneries skateboard park. So just about basics of that done and in place, but that will just give you an idea. Then in the middle, round about here, will be a bandstand. And then if we go a little round, this will be sort of shrubbery trees along there, and then where we've got this area, well, I'm hoping there's going to be room that I can put a fishing lake in, and then along here will be just fenced off, as that will be the goods area. So there we are, a little panoramic view of Midway Park. Okay. found that interesting. If that new section does work, it will be quite exciting. And I've also got some plans in mind what to do on the other side of the layout. So, as the saying goes, watch this space. I will update as well on Facebook if anybody watches me there on how the build progresses. Just like to say as well that with the weather improving and I've got my second COVID jab coming up in the 1st of June. So let's hope we're getting back to some sort of normality. And what would be great is if some of the exhibitions started to reopen again, and perhaps we can meet up at some stage. So from me, Kev at Midway, it's bye. And as usual, stay safe and happy modeling. Bye, everyone.